Hey, let's go over some Spurs news and notes that you may have missed, and then have the first ever Locked On Spurs Roundtable. We're going to be discussing Castle, Rookie of the Year award chase, and just the rookie class itself.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and we'll get your work week started right here on Locked On Spurs. Hey, as always, we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen. Go subscribe wherever you get favorite podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. What else you got? Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube, obviously. The list goes on and on. Seriously, there's no excuse for you to not be subscribing to Locked On Spurs. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. So what are we talking about today? I'm going to go over some quick Spurs news and notes with you, and then have the first ever Locked On Spurs Roundtable. Yes, we're going to have more than two people for the first time. Joining us in just a few seconds will be Rudy Campos of Sweep the League, and then Jack Thompson, formerly with San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to be discussing Stephon Castle, the Rookie of the Year award chase, and then just the rookie class in general. How does Castle fit in? And then go over some Locked On Spurs fan comments that you guys are leaving over at the Locked On Spurs YouTube page. That's coming up next. Hey, but first, some Spurs news and notes that you may have missed. First up is, well, Victor Wembanyama and Team France. They had a costly loss versus Team Germany recently, which now puts them in the elimination round. So they advanced, but they got to go up against Team Canada. It's a winner-take-all kind of game. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Team France, Wemby, to get past the elimination round and go for the medal rounds itself. But interestingly enough, though, after the loss versus Germany, Team France's head coach, Vincent Collier, called out Wemby. Yes, he called him out. He said that, quote, he stopped the ball too much. Against that kind of aggressiveness, you can't play that way. You are never one-on-one because they come to double team and there's no space to operate. It's important to move the ball. So looks like the head coach of France had an issue with Wemby not moving the ball, being a ball stopper. Obviously, look, he's still young. It's going to happen. You make mistakes. Even the greats make. So Wemby hopefully will learn from that lesson, move on, and advance in the Olympic tournament. So yeah, they'll take on Team Canada up next. Hey, we'll stick with Wemby here. Tony Parker had a chat with Yahoo Sports and just glowed about Wemby, which he always does. But interesting enough, though, he compared him to LeBron James. He says, quote, he's a little like LeBron. The only one I can compare with so much expectation before you arrive, meaning to the NBA, is LeBron James. So Tony Parker feels that Wemby and LeBron share that similarity, the high, intense expectation to perform well in the NBA. Hopefully, Wemby will be able to pass LeBron and rack up some titles, get the Spurs back to the promised land, and so much more. In other Spurs news, Julian Champagnie, his contract extension, team option did come to fruition. It did happen, so he's on board. He's on the roster moving forward. What the Spurs will do with that, unknown. They could trade him. They're stacked right now with depth. Maybe he goes to training camp. Maybe trade for him. Maybe they waive him. Don't know, but it is what it is. He is. With the Spurs continuing on, again, that team option did not expire. It got picked up. It's about $3 million. So Champagnie is still on the roster. Hey, we did forget one thing about Wemby. Circling back to Victor Wembanyama, the Paris 2024 Olympic MVP ladder was announced by the Olympics itself. FIBA, that is. And Victor Wembanyama is ranked number 6 in MVP ladder chase right now. LeBron James is number 1, Team USA, followed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number 2 with Team Canada, and then Joker Nikola Jokic, number 3 in the MVP ladder out in Paris for the Olympics. Again, Victor is 6, so he's playing pretty well. Look, even earlier we were talking about that loss against Germany. He put up a double-double, 14 points, 12 rebounds. Nevertheless, Victor still being Victor, putting up some good numbers and being surrounded by that type of international talent. We mentioned 3 names. Schroeder, Kevin Durant, RJ Barrett. It's almost like who's who of names that are playing the basketball tournament, and Victor is one of them. So congratulations to Wemby. And finally, some good news. Sean Elliott, for those of y'all who don't know or do know, he recently had a kind of a heart scare. His Apple Watch detected AFib, which is a heart condition that picks up whether or not your heart is beating irregularly. He's okay. He came out of it great. He's fine. But he also put out there that it was kind of hard for him to believe that he had his kidney transplant 25 years ago. So he recently celebrated the kidney transplant that saved his life. Basically, his brother, Noel, donated one of the kidneys to his brother alive. So he's asking everybody to help spread the word about Kidney Transplant Month. They're seeking for better options. If you want to go check out what Sean Elliott is talking about, you want to go to his social media at Sean Elliott _32 on X. There, he'll talk about his kidney transplant story just to raise awareness for Kidney Transplantation Month. So there you have it, some quick Spurs news and notes. Coming up next, I'm excited for this. The first ever roundtable, Locked On Spurs roundtable. Myself, Rudy Campos will sweep the league. Jack Thompson, formerly with San Antonio Sports Star. We all got together. We're going to be discussing Castle, the rookie class, rookie of the year, so much more. Coming up next right here on Locked On Spurs. I want to talk about eBay Motors. Drive, passion, patience. That is a winning formula for championship. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, they got it. Roof racks, they got that too. Exhaust kits, LED headlights, so much more. Whether it's just speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, it's always quickest, easiest way to find what you're looking for with ebaymotors.com. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need and the prices that you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. I want to talk about Muslinger's Drive-Thru Coffee. Go there right now. San Antonio, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. That's in the 21 to 1604 area. Go there right now. They're open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You need a latte. You need a cold brew. You need dairy alternatives. You need caffeinated drinks, non-caffeinated drink. You need mini donuts. They got it all. They have a great menu, great staff, proud local sponsor, Locked On Spurs, proud community member of San Antonio, serving San Antonio the best drinks in town. Go there right now. Follow them on social media at Muslinger, SATX. What else? Oh, yeah. They got this drink called the Alien. I think you can figure that out, right? That's in honor of Victor Wembanyama. Well, it's part of their Lightning Bolt series. Now, those are drinks that will supercharge your day, get you going through the day, get you kickstarted for the day. They're usually made with Red Bull, but that is no longer the default. The default will be Lotus Energy. 7 power plant extracts in the mix. It's really delicious, very good. It allows them flexibility to create more drinks with that Lotus Energy. But if you want Red Bull, they'll still have it on hand. Just tell them. But just a heads up, the default will be Lotus Energy. Same effects, just better options and flexibility. Go to Muslinger's Drive-Thru Coffee, San Antonio, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. because life is too short for bland coffee.
A Jedi uses the Force. To subscribe to Locked On Spurs, pass on what you have learned.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs for the first time ever on Los history. We have a freaking roundtable. We have a roundtable. That's what's good about the offseason. We get to experiment here on Locked On Spurs. And joining us on this very first Locked On Spurs roundtable on my side. Look at this guy. He says, yeah, no on his t-shirt. I don't know what that's referring to. He is Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. Make sure to follow him on X at Sweep the League, rocking the NC cap.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about Duke players. Is that cool?
No. Well, this will probably be the first Locked On you've yet to mention a Duke player, which I'm hoping stays intact. But we've still got a whole lot of show to go, so I'm actually counting on you dropping a Duke player's name.
Hey, I'm a Duke guy, so I'll bring up all the Duke guys.
See, this is the perfect. This is the inaugural Locked On trio here episode, and we've got a Dookie and we've got a Tar Heel. What are you doing, Jeff?
I had no idea that. Yeah, okay, well, let's introduce him now. He is Jack Thompson. You know him. He's here often. Make sure to follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33, rocking the, oh my goodness, is that what I think it is? Is that Hunter X Hunter?
Just for you, buddy. Just for you.
That it is right there. Yeah. Make sure, again, he is formerly with San Antonio Sports Star. And again, make sure to follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33. By the way, another Locked On Spurs history. All three of us went to the same high school. Mm-hmm. All three of us went to Central Catholic High School. Yes, all three of us. We just found that out right before the recording, and it was actually Rudy had a suspicion. And Rudy, you kind of knew, and I was like, man, I never asked Jack that question. Yes, and everybody, I'm the oldest of all of us here. So I was there when Central Catholic broke ground. So that's pretty much how old I
No.
am.
Well, I was there, what, 2 years after you were. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
2 years
we're
after me. Yeah.
about the same time.
Yeah, 2 years after me. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's
'Cause I graduated in
there.
97, which was like 60 years ago. It was 97. So,
Yeah.
I was
I
one.
oh,
you
see
were
now,
one.
thanks for making me feel even older now.
So guys, we're kind of short on time. Unfortunately, these two knuckleheads, they got to get to work soon. So we're going to try to keep it moving here. Basically, why are they here? Well, we're going to be discussing the recent ESPN/NBA exec poll regarding the rookie class, who will win Rookie of the Year, who is the best rookie, etc., etc. Stephon Castle is in the mix, and let's dive into this. Let's start off with the overall, I guess, the categories where Castle fell into. So, Rookie of the Year, Castle came in 4th. So, we'll get to that in a bit. But the first one right off the bat is who will be the best rookie out of the class, just regardless of award or whatnot. Castle came in 3rd behind Shepard and Zach Edey. Then Castle? I'm scratching my head right now, Rudy. What are they seeing that we're not seeing? Why did Zach Edey? I can maybe understand Shepard, but Edey?
The thing with Zach Edey, it's very confusing, but I can see where ESPN makes sense. Zach Edey's going to actually allow Jared Jackson Jr. to move to the 4 position, so they're going to probably plug Zach Edey into the 5. But I think where the hype's coming from Zach Edey is the fact that you're getting John Morant back. You're getting Desmond Bane back. So the Grizzlies are probably going to have a way better, not even probably, they're going to have a way better record than they were last year.
Yeah.
It's the Chet Holmgren effect again this year with Zach Edey. They're going to feel like, hey, he needs to get Rookie of the Year love because the Grizzlies are playing better. But all in all, it's just more hype than it is by ESPN with Zach Edey. He's going to do fine, but he's not going to be a difference maker and enough to be a Rookie of the Year in consideration, but impact wise, maybe just a little bit.
Jack Shepard, he's getting a lot of love in this ESPN/NBA exec poll. Shepard this, Shepard that, but the best overall rookie, number 1. Are you buying or selling that?
I think I'm selling best overall rookie. I mean, he's definitely got a good shot to come home with Rookie of the Year. He's gonna, jump in probably immediately and be their starting point guard and, take control of that ship. So he's going to have all the opportunities to prove that if he's the best rookie or not and whether he's, worthy of the Rookie of the Year. I don't know how much I believe in him being the best rookie overall.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he's definitely going to have ample opportunity to prove us otherwise. Amongst all the rookies, he probably gets the most run out of,
It may come down to that, just who gets the most burn, because this is a rookie class that, as of now, is considered not one of the greatest in recent years. Yes, Stephon Castle is in that mix. I think what's going to hurt Castle is, you mentioned it right now, Jack, playing time. Will Pop unleash him? Will Pop just say, hey, this is a rebuild. It is what it is. Hey, Rook, go out there and do your thing. He's gotten some praise from Pop during the interview with ESPN at the Summer League, so check. He proved that he does have a shot. That was the biggest knock on him. But, Rudy, do you think that's what it come down to? Just simply playing time? If Pop just lets him run and do his thing, perhaps he will emerge as the best rookie in what is considered a watered-down rookie class?
For Stephon Castle, could he be the best rookie overall in this class? It's possibility. I mean, going into the draft, I know on the Spurs big board that I had Stephon Castle 1, and he was actually my best prospect coming in. Him along with Tejan Saloon was another one that I really liked. Yeah. Dalton Connect another, but it comes down to playing time for the rookies. When I look at Stephon, I mean, he's behind Chris Paul. I mean, if you put him at the 2, he's going to be behind Devin Vassell. You've also got Trey Jones. So Pop's going to have a little bit of a tough time putting him into that mix somewhere when it comes to the point guard position. Do I see him getting run at 2? I actually see him getting run at the 2 position. Mm-hmm. Free him up. He's able to run around some screens. His jump shot was kind of iffy coming in, but we saw improvement on his jump shot in the Summer League. So I think there's a possibility he could be in a watered down class. But for me, to be honest, the one guy that I've got circled as probably the best rookie coming into this draft class is still Don Connect for the LA Lakers. He's
Interesting.
going to have so many opportunities in LA. Whether he starts or not, that's the other question. I think maybe middle of the year, you're going to start to see him set. But when you got a 5-year player that's technically a veteran on NBA standards, shooting, he can shoot the lights out. He can get to the basket. Defense is his only question. But again, everybody's defense in the NBA is questionable at this time. But right now, it's Connect for me. But I can see Castle being in the mix somewhere if he gets burned.
Rudy, before we hit record, Jack told me that his best rookie overall is Bronny James. Is that correct, Jack? but Jack,
incorrect.
Yeah, right. You're right. Incorrect. Yeah, but Jack, with Castle, we know playing time Popovich rookies that may impact him, but I don't think that there's been the trend of late. He has no choice. He's got to put these kids out there. He can't. He can't. This franchise can't afford projects. They're trying with Juan Nunez, but as far as that's concerned, that's for a later show. But with Castle, you're hearing comps about, he's could be the next Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's the city. Another Derek White and whatnot. For the best rookie of the class, what will he have to do? And maybe would he have to do much? Because it is considered a kind of a watered down class.
He's going to have to produce for sure. And I feel like while this may be a watered down class, a lot of these rookies are going to go out and get a ton of burn with the teams that they're on. So once again, it really does fall down to what that playing time looks like for Castle. I think other rookies that, are going to have a shot for a rookie of the year. I mean, Matas Buzelis is going into a torn down Bulls team. So he's going to have, the rock in his hands 90% of the time, just so they can really see what kind of goods the kid has. Risha Shea, he's going to have ample opportunity to prove himself. Sar coming in to Washington, going to have tons of burn to prove himself. While I know Rudy didn't really like the Zach Edey, I kind of think Zach Edey could come in and put up some quiet rookie of the year numbers. I mean, he is the only 5 on that team really anymore. And, like you said, moving Jaren Jackson to the 4. When John Morant attacks the rim, I mean, everyone's going to gravitate to him. And, Zach Edey's 7'6", just throw it up there around the rim and let him go get it. He should have, 4 or 5 lobs on a silver platter in his game every week. So I think just with how force-fed Edey could end up being by this Memphis team, I think he could quietly put up some rookie of the year type numbers.
Yeah.
It's a watered down class. There's not a lot of huge star power. So I think in the end, it really just turns into who's getting the most burn and who produces the best. And I think Castle could definitely be, one of those guys. He's got good players around him. Wemby's obviously going to help a lot with, defense and offense for Castle. So I think Castle's going to win rookie of the year? Probably not, but I do think he's good enough to do so. I mean, he was number 2 on my big board for the Spurs. So I definitely, have high hopes for what he's going to be able to go and produce out there.
Yeah, I want to stay with you, Jack. Are we making too much of what he did in a 3-game sample size in Las Vegas and in Sacramento?
Making too much of it? I mean, probably not. All we really wanted to see is could he go out there and run the point guard like a traditional point, get assists, take care of the ball, no turnovers. We saw him do that. We wanted to see what his jumper looked like, how confident he was in it. He came out and he showed out that, while his jumper may not be the most technically pretty, it still is going to drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure we're really making too much out of it. Like we said, we only saw him in 3 games.
Yeah.
He produced at a high level in all 3. He ran the point guard exceptionally well in all 3, and he hit threes in all 3. So I was happy to see what I saw, and it checked all the boxes that I really wanted to be checked. So I'm happy about it.
What about you, Rudy? Are we making too much of what we saw from Castle out in the Summer League play?
Not really. I mean, like Jack was mentioning, you wanted to see how he ran the point guard position. Was he able to be in command of the team? Not necessarily getting guys' faces, but put players in the right position for them to succeed, which is what you want as a point guard. Also, the fact of his jump shot, because it was so questionable coming into the draft and people were saying he couldn't shoot, he proved that he can shoot the ball. Again, it's going to need work, but you've got a lot of players that come into the NBA that need work on their jump shot, that get the training that they need. So I think we saw everything that we needed to see in Castle coming into the summer league. Now going into the season, we're hoping that he takes that extra step working with Chris Paul, and Jones as well. So we'll see a little bit more as the season progresses, and I think as far as, the rookie of the year concern for Castle, just a quick thing. I kind of agree with Jack. It's kind of tough to say he's going to win rookie of the year. I have more expectations of him making the all NBA rookie team than I do, him winning rookie of the year, because all the way from 1 to 30, any guy can show up and be, this great rookie. I mean, hell, I've even got Baylor Shireman out of Boston. He was picked number 30, and I have him as one of my guys that's probably going to be impactful in the right position in Boston. So it could be anybody.
Yeah, and it's that kind of class, it's just so much unknown, and there's still unknown. Sure, Castle looked great in Vegas and in Sacramento, but still unknown what it'll look like in the NBA level. Before we shift gears to talk about the Rookie of the Year award, were there any rookies so far that really stood out for you? I know, Rudy, you mentioned Dalton Connect. You're sticking with Connect so far?
Right now,
because his summer league was kind of iffy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Connect for me in the summer league, you saw a little bit of what he's going to provide for the Los Angeles Lakers. Other guys that I kind of liked in the summer league, you saw Reed Shepherd kind of, and I think Reed's going to actually get more of the love from anybody, because coming into the draft, Reed Shepherd was the guy, and one of the guys talked about big times. I mean, you talked about him going possibly number 1 towards the end of the draft there, trying to get, closer to the draft. And I think Reed's going to get a lot of the love, but at this point, for Rookie of the Year, I'm going to stick with Connect. I think he's in a really good position. Reed's going to get the most burn. He's going to get the most looks. He's going to get the more opportunities, but it's what he does with those opportunities. Bozelas from the Bulls as well. That's another one. That was a great one by Jack. So, again, you know what? Just put everybody in a hat, Jeff. Pick a name out, and that's who you're going to roll with.
Wow. Is it like that, Jack? Is it really like that? Just pick a name in the hat? If the Castle comes up, yay, he's Rookie of the Year. Nobody's surprised. If it's Ricochet, yay. I mean, is it that bad?
Yeah, I really think this is a year where it could, be anybody. I like that Baylor Shireman pull. I mean, we saw last year Jaime Jaquez came in third in the Rookie of the Year voting just because he got so much burn for Miami, and he just fit the culture so perfectly, and it just worked to a T. And I think Baylor Shireman could be a guy like that for Boston. I do like, Jeff. I mean, coming into the draft, Buzelis was my guy.
He was your guy. Yeah.
I think he can really show out in the next level with the spacing, and if he can really get that jump shot too, like knockdown ability, then I think he could really be a deadly player in this league with his body type. I do think Reed is going to get a ton of burn. He's probably going to have the most opportunity to show that he is worthy of Rookie of the Year, but that's also the most opportunity to mess up and not show out. So yeah, I do kind of agree with Rudy. At this point, it's put everyone in a hat, and whoever you draw out has as good a shot as anybody else to win Rookie of the Year. It's tough to tell right now without knowing what minutes and rotations look like. But if I had to go off the top of my head, I mean, I think Matas and Reed are going to have the most opportunity to show us why they're going to be worthy of the Rookie of the Year, and that could end up being the final straw in the hat that gives them that award.
Rudy, we were talking about just put the names in the hat and pick somebody, and there's your Rookie of the Year. What if that name that you pull out is Bronny James? And you're going to be celebrating that, huh, Rudy?
Man, yeah, if that happens, then can we just easily say that I'll probably never cover the NBA again, and I'm going to cover CYO basketball.
Or maybe classify this as the absolute worst draft class ever, if that were to happen. We'll just talk about it now. We're talking about the Rookie of the Year already, and Castle in the ESPN NBA Execs poll came in, I believe, 4th overall in that poll. Let's see here. We're talking about teammates. Y'all mentioned Zach Edey. You're gonna have John Moran, Jaren Jackson. All that good stuff there. Couldn't the inverse be said about Castle? He has Wemby next to him. That's a lot of spacing for him to operate. Rudy, how much is that going to be a factor? Don't you think that Wemby effect could help impact Castle and his chase for the Roy?
Well, the Wemby effect will help impact Castle on Rookie of the Year, but I'm going to give you something that's going to really hurt him, and that's one Chris Paul. I mean, you're going to, like I said, you've got Chris Paul starting now. If Stephon Castle was coming in and had an opportunity to be the starting point guard for the San Antonio Spurs, then we can be a little bit more giddy when it came to a Wemby and Castle connection there, and he could be getting the Rookie of the Year, a lot of the nod from it. But because you've got Chris Paul, because you've got Jones, even ahead of Castle right now, it's going to limit him on how far he can go as a rookie and how much he can do as a rookie. So as much as Wemby makes a difference for a lot of players in Castle's sense, unless we see, which, knock on wood, you see an injury to Chris Paul or something like that, we're not going to really see Castle get those opportunities that would help benefit him get the Rookie of the Year. So the Wemby factor makes a difference, but it's not going to make a huge difference when it comes to Rookie of the Year for Castle.
Yeah, what about you, Jack? What do you think about the Wemby effect?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Rudy. I mean, if he was coming in bona fide starting point guard, I mean, he's top of the list for Rookie of the Year no matter what. I mean, he's running with a team that, won 20 games last year, so he's going to get a ton of burn. He's going to have the ultimate lob threat and a racer on his side. So, yeah, if he was coming in and, we were expecting him to get 30 plus minutes a night running one or two or a combination of the both, I mean, yeah, I think Rookie of the Year would be easily attainable to him. But with that log jam that we kind of have at guard at this point, he's at best the second point guard and shooting guard. So you would imagine he'll get, probably 10 to 15 minutes of playing both each game. And when he's playing the two and he doesn't really have the rock in his hands to control the offense, your eyes are gonna drift away from Castle and kind of go on to Wemby. So he's gonna kind of fall out of your thought of who's gonna be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I think it definitely does help because, Wemby's going to make everybody's life easier on the basketball court. So he's going to make Castle look better in instances when they're playing together. But it's just how often are we going to see that is really going to be the final question.
Yeah. I'm going to stay with you, Jack, here. In one of the polls, they even have Donovan Clingan ahead of Castle as far as best rookies, Rookie of the Year, whatnot. What are your thoughts on Clingan? Is he going to be that much better? I mean, I don't see it being that much better. Two different positions, but NBA execs think he'd be one of the better rookies ahead of Castle.
We talk about log jam at guard for Castle. Clingan's got Ayton and Rob Williams ahead of him at center. Like those are two bona fide starting top centers in the league. Like Clingan's just going to go in and, automatically take all those guys' minutes. Like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't like Clingan being ahead of Castle at all. He's got so much, he's going to be a really good player. And I was hoping that he was going to fall to the Spurs. But there's a log jam there at center and Portland.
Yeah.
And I mean, also Portland's got a ton of question marks, in their guards too. So we'll see how that shapes up. I don't see Clingan being higher than Castle in the Rookie of the Year voting. I don't see that.
Rudy, I did it. I found a way to bring up a Dookie. So not only do you have Chris Paul ahead of him, you got Trey Jones as well ahead of
the most
Castle.
Dookie you can bring up is that guy.
That was the easiest one I could think of. But let's talk about that logjam right now. You remember last year it was, we need guard depth. We need guard depth. Well, you got guard depth and then some. You got bona fide two guys ahead of him in the rotation, Jones and CP3. Again, do you think that's probably going to hinder the Roy chase for Castle?
Yeah, I mean, I said, both Jack and I are in agreement with if you got Castle coming in as a clear-cut number one, or he's even playing the two in the starting five, it makes it a lot easier for him. He's going to get a lot of run as a starter. He's going to, those easy assists, those lobs to Wemby, that adds a lot to the assist column. When Wemby gets double-teamed and he's off, and I'm going to put it this way. Look at Castle when he played at UConn with Clingan, how dominant both guys were. So if you have Castle in the starting five with Wemby, it's kind of that UConn connection again, where Klingon made Castle's job a lot easier for him. That's the reason why I say if he's the clear-cut one, then you're talking Rookie of the Year. He should be, right around that 70-75% chance of winning Rookie of the Year because everything falls into place. But because he's not, and you have Chris Paul, you have Devin Vassell, you have Trey Jones, and in some cases, you're probably going to see Pop maybe trust Malachi or Blake before Stephon in most cases. So until you get the rotation, it's the same argument every year with the San Antonio Spurs. What in the hell is a rotation? What is Pop going to do? We don't know.
Yeah.
We're assuming that Castle's going to be that first or second guard to come off the bench, but we don't know just yet. So again, if he's starting, I feel the UConn vibes all over again.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dominant type of performance.
Yeah.
But because he's not, I really don't even see that at all.
All right. Before we hit the break, real quick, Rudy, does at minimum Castle win a Rookie of the Month award?
That I could say, yeah. I think he might win a Rookie of the Month award at minimum. I mean, hell, in this class, one of us could probably win a Rookie of the Month award.
Yeah, like Bronny James, right? Like Bronny James. Yeah, he's gonna be like the joke of the whole class, isn't he? I mean, you just see everybody piling on.
Until he shows out.
Yeah.
We joke so much about Bronny, and then he's gonna have a 28 performance, 28 game or point performance, and this is gonna make us all eat our words, and then we'll wake up and realize it was a dream.
Yeah, it was a dream. What about you, Jack? Does Castle get Rookie of the Month award?
I think if in classic Spurs fashion, if he's, unleashed in the second half of the season and we start seeing him take all Malachi and Blake's minutes and, any other guys that probably aren't going to be around here for the long haul, whether that's, Trey Jones or Chris Paul or you have it, whatever happens, there's going to be something that happens in the deadline that's going to switch up the rotation, whether that's benching players or trading players. Yeah. I think that's when we see Castle really injected to this lineup. And like Rudy said, I mean, we saw what he did around Klingon, a big, kind of stumbling oaf as a center. Imagine what he can do with the 7'6" fluid, dynamic shooting, lob catching kind of guy. It could be really something special to behold. So I think if Castle is unleashed in the latter part of the season, we could definitely see Rookie of the Month awards.
He is Jack Thompson. Follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33. Give us those 3 goggles, man. We need the 3 goggles. There you go. That's everybody has so far, you two guys are the only one that have a signature thing here on Locked On Spurs. You got Jack for the 3 goggles. Rudy, he has intro music. We're going to play that in a bit. And Rudy Campos, again, make sure to follow him at Sweep the League. He'll be talking to you about his show later on this episode of Locked On Spurs. When we get back, we're going to be discussing you guys, Locked On Spurs fans, and those comments. You guys are leaving a bunch of them. Let's pick 2. Hey, you want to go to GameTime.co right now. GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball. It makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. Killer last minute deals, all in prices, viewed from your seat, the lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Look, they got event cancellation protection, job loss protection, seat views. You get a panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy. Flash deals, save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game. You can even save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater with their last-minute deals. Yeah, can't beat that. The Game Time ticket coverage, well, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Hey, this is Hot Rod.
And I'm RC from the San Antonio Spurs.
And you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs, the first ever Locked On Spurs Roundtable edition. I was so nervous about this. I texted Rudy like about 7:45 a.m. and I was like, "Can you come on and help me test this thing out?" and surprise, surprise, it all worked out. By the way, don't think we didn't see what's behind you. A Vinny Del Negro, what is that?
Autograph.
Photo autograph.
Yeah,
awesome.
Next to Is that autographed too? You said it's autographed, right?
Yeah, it's autographed by Vinny if you want to see it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
I'm having my Deadpool moment where he had resumes and people were sending him basically face shots and stuff. So yeah, Vinny sent me his, and I didn't hire him. So
he didn't make the cut.
Yeah, he didn't make the cut.
You told him no, right? Like on your T-shirt.
Yeah, he said that he preferred Holy Cross over Central. So I just kicked him out. Is what I did.
Can't do that. By the way, guys, I don't know about Jack, but by everybody, that's Jack Thompson below you on the screen there. Follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33. I don't know if you guys, maybe Rudy. I don't know about Jack, but back in my day in Central, the Holy Cross Buttons rivalry was like peak. Was the point where we went to the Holy Cross field and burned it.
Yeah, I remember
torched it. Yeah.
Well, Jack can actually thank my class, my years at Central, because we were the reason why the Holy Cross Central Catholic rivalry had to stop.
Yeah.
They killed the game for I don't know how many years. I think recently we just got it back, but apologize for that. I didn't have nothing to do
sorry,
with that.
Jack. Sorry, Jack. You didn't get to experience
when I was at Central, we had the Holy Bowl. We played. We had it wasn't like a big rivalry. I mean, Cross was Cross. They're kind of like younger.
Rudy and I were there at the height of the rivalry.
Yeah, for us it was Antonian for sure. It was Antonian. Yeah, that was the rivalry.
Man, this was Rudy and I with Tony. We're like, whatever.
That's how it was for us with Cross. Yeah, I mean, we were like, oh, we're playing Cross. Count it up as a dub.
Yeah, there you go. We're all here discussing all things silver and black. We just finished talking about the best rookie of the year for Castle. Now to shift to the Locked On Spurs fan comments. We're gonna start over to Rudy, and as you know, all we do, we got to give him his intro music. So Rudy, we're gonna cue you up here. Let's get him going here. There it is. There's his walk-up music. His walk-up music coming up to these comments.
Yeah, I'm still. I get out of breath walking still, so I'm still trying to work on that. So
you're in shape.
Gotta let the intro music go. I am in shape. Round is a shape, and I'm in shape.
Round is shape. Yeah, that is a round of shape. Yeah, Rudy gets his intro music every single time he's here on Locked On Spurs. All right, Rudy. All right, there you go. Let's get you the comment here. First up is from @NickMatt35. He says, he's asking, how many triple doubles will Wemby have next season? So he's talking about year 2 Wemby. What do you think? You think he's going to shadow those records, or is it going to be kind of like a daily thing?
Well, personally, he needs to gain weight. So if we're talking hamburgers, triple-double hamburgers, I mean, you definitely should take a whole bunch of them. But as far as gameplay goes, if we're talking an 82-game season, in the triple-double column, I'll put the over-under. Man, that's tough.
That's a tough one, yeah.
19? I think 19.
See, I think that's good. I think that's on the low side.
As much as I say that, it's on the low side, 19, because again, the assists aren't going to really be there a whole lot. Defense, obviously rebounding and points will be there, but the assists, you're not going to see him get a whole lot of assists. He's not going to have the ball in his hand a whole lot of times with Chris Paul. That's the reason why you brought CP3 in. So the ball's not going to be in his hands as much as it was last year when we really didn't have a true point guard. Now you kind of do. So that's why I say I have it on the low end. So 19, I'm going to put it between 19, 20, 21, right around there. But I'm stuck at number 19 right now for triple doubles.
What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I like 19. I was thinking between like 20 and 25. So I think 19 is a solid number. I could definitely see that. I definitely think we see a triple double or two with blocks. And I think we might see a quad double this year with Wemby. I think that we might get one of those. But yeah, I think between 20 and 25 is probably about peak. I think I would put it probably between 15 and 20 more likely, but I think he could get up around 25.
I got him recording multiple quad dubs in his career, not just one.
Like career, he's getting multiple. He's gonna. Multiple. I mean, when we get peak, God mode Wemby, he's gonna be a quad dub threat every night.
Yeah. I think that he's gonna shadow that record because Rudy, help me out here. Nobody's recorded more than one quad dub, right? Not even Dream did, right?
No one's recorded. I think only David, Dream, and
Alvin Robertson,
and then of course Timmy got robbed of his in the playoffs. But
And I
Yeah,
think
only
Wilt has the only quintuple double or whatever you want to say.
What do you get a quintuple in? What are the
It was
categories?
well, I mean, it was
There's
way before I
scoring.
was born, but I know
There's
he had a quint. It
scoring,
was scoring,
rebound, assists,
assists, steals,
blocks. Oh yeah,
blocks, and assists.
yeah.
Yeah,
You-
he scored the very first quin.
sure he did it just like he had 100 points in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure
there you
he
go.
did.
Here, see, there Jack's getting riled up now. See, there's
Yeah,
Jack. He's getting riled up.
Again, I wasn't there. I was there in spirit, but I just
I mean,
from what I understand.
we always hear about this Wilt 100-point game, and then they give us old time footage of Wilt and Bill playing each other. Like, where's the footage of the 100-point game?
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
You know, I would not be surprised, Mr. Thompson, if Wemby gets a quintuple. I wouldn't.
I mean,
I could see that.
it could definitely happen. It would be, I mean, it would be insane. Yeah, but sure, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility with a player like Wemby that literally can affect the game in every way that it's played. So, sure, I could see him. But for him to get 10 steals and 10 blocks in a game would be just absurd.
I heard Rudy got a quad dub in hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries, and chicken nuggets. Is that true?
Yeah, actually, I did. I had a quad dub on that. I went for the quin, but I couldn't finish those last two wings. So when you eat that much food, it takes a lot out of you there, Jeff. So
that's historic. That's historic numbers.
Arguably harder than a quin in basketball, honestly.
Well, yeah, definitely so, man. The thing with Wemby on a quin double, on a quin, it's very possible because I'll tell you what, if the NBA ever adopted a zone defense or a true zone defense where he would be able to clog the lane, I'd say a quintuple or whatever you want to call it, double, that's almost going to happen if it was ever to happen with a player like Wemby.
Yeah, if
he's thinking about Wendy's already. See, I see that. You're thinking about Wendy's.
Jesus Christ, yeah. You know how long it's been since I've had a burger like that? Like almost 6 years, man. 5.5 years. So
keep on keeping on, Rudy. What about you, Jack?
I think that Wemby's definitely going to get a quad dub. I don't know if we see him get a quintuple dub. That just seems too far fetched. But I mean, like Rudy said, if we played FIBA rules and Wemby could plant himself in the paint and knock stuff off the rim and all that, then he'd be a threat for it all the time. But just with how the NBA game is played, I'm not sure I ever see him getting something like that. That would probably never happen again. But the quad dub is imminent. We will see that.
Imminent. I got multiple. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets multiple in year 2. I could see that.
It could happen. I mean,
I could definitely see that.
The thing, like, we're gonna see 10 block games, so it's like Rudy said, it's always gonna come down to the assists for Wemby. It's just our guys hitting shots. Like, that's really gonna be what it falls down to, because he's gonna get doubled and he's gonna make the right passes out of those doubles. Our guys hitting shots, that's yet to be seen, but a quad dub is coming.
Yeah, I can see Jack pulling his hair out. All right, Wemby is down to 1 assist for a quad dub and a pass out to Jeremy Sohan for 3.
Or Trey Jones in the corner.
There you go. All right. Well, Jack, I'll stick with you here. The next comment is from Frank Santini 4990. He's he's kind of coming at me, but not too much. But we'll get your reaction on this. He goes, Jeff, I told you Castle's game looks like SGA. Pump the brakes, Jack? Does Frank need to pump the brakes there?
I mean, his body type, and I guess he resembles SGA on the court, but SGA coming into the league was a far better mid-range shooter. That was like his bread and butter, was getting to the mid-range and mixing you up with multiple pivots and then rising over you with his 6'6" frame. Castle, that's just not, when he's getting to the inside the arc, I mean, he's bullying you to the rim. He's trying to get you all the way to the cup. We see SGA do that now that, he's arguably the best guard in the league, but I feel like SGA is a lot more fluidity and finesse and reaction and, coming off of what you give them. what I've seen from Castle is he makes one strong move and he's using his big strong frame to take you all the way to the cup, and you're going to foul him or he's going to score the bucket. He doesn't have all the combinations and reactions that SGA has in his bag. So could he turn into a player like that? I mean, yeah, certainly he could cook up into something that resembles SGA, but in terms of what their games are right now, I see a lot more like Jimmy Butler and like Jaylen Brown in his game than I do SGA at this point. Just big, strong, get to my spot, rise up over you, or I'm going to dominate you to the rim and score it over you. I don't see all the finesse factor in his game that SGA has right now.
And Rudy, your thoughts? Pump the brakes there. Guy who left the comment. That's too much too soon. SGA comp.
The comp that I had on the low end, and I remember telling you on Lockdown for Stephon Castle, was I had him as a poor man's SGA, and a simple fact of he has the ability to get there. It's just a matter of how hard he wants to work, and that's what's going to come down to. But if he is as is, just kind of think about it. A more calm, and I say really calm, Russell Westbrook right now. He gets to the basket. He's going to get fouls. He's going to get fouls drawn on him. He can make finishes at the basket, but you know how Russ gets in when he gets going, he'll get to the rim no matter what. He'll go around the pick, he'll get to the rim. I like the Jimmy Butler comparison, but if you want to go even stronger guards from back in the day, a comp for a lot of the older guys, just think of maybe like a Mitch Richmond type where he's gonna get to the basket. He's very strong. He's athletic, but Mitch has that jump shot that SGA, you got me talking to him now, that Castle doesn't have right now. But again, the strength is there. That's where we like with Stephon Castle. But like Jack said, it's going to take a lot of work to get up to where SGA is. And not only that, SGA, he's the man in OKC. We're never going to see Castle at that with the San Antonio Spurs. So scoring wise, it's going to be more around the bucket for Stephon Castle. But I mean, a poor man's SGA, it just depends on how hard he works.
Yeah. I mean, either way, however you slice it, not bad.
Yeah.
Mitch Richmond, oh no, not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SGA is not a terrible comp whatsoever. I mean, he could certainly turn into that. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of bag work for him to get all those counters and reactions and all that SGA has, for sure.
Now that I'm talking about it, earlier in the show, I talked about the Wemby effect helping Castle for the Roy. It also could not help him because it's Wemby and all the attention is going to go to him. Yeah, it's Wemby's team. It's not Castle's team.
At the best, Castle in his career, he will be a career, Robin to a Batman. Like if he's this lifetime Spur, he's a career Robin to a Batman. And there's nothing to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But he's just, with the team that he was drafted into, he's just not going to be the guy. It's just, he knows it. Everyone knows it. It's just, it's just how it is.
Yeah, it is. But one thing's for sure, these two guys would never be the Robins here on Locked On Spurs. They're always Batmans. He is Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. And below me, out there on your screen, you see him. He is Jack Thompson. At Jack_Thompson33. Make sure to give him a follow ASAP. Talk to his ear off about anything from nerd talk to basketball, football, college. Seriously, follow Jack on X. He's a great follow. And then Mr. Campos right next to me here. Tell us what's going on at Sweep, buddy. We need to know.
You can go to YouTube and follow us on YouTube. It's at Sweep the League TV. And yeah, it's football season, man. We're getting our previews for the NFL, our college football. Still talking about NBA with Derek Gervin from time to time. We got Olympic stuff going on. Team USA, I've got him at the bronze. So if somebody said LeBron's James, so we're going to see if that actually pans out. But just join us over on Sweep the League Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. We go for about an hour and a half. It's myself, it's Derek Gervin, and Coach Gio Monday through Friday.
Hey, Jack, who's your favorite Dookie of all time? Who's your favorite Dookie?
Why, Jeff?
Favorite Dookie of all time? Well, I mean, John Shire and JJ Redick made me love the game because they looked like what I could look like out on the court. 6 foot, white guy just dominating the game. They made me fall in love with it. I always loved Kyle Singler. That guy was a straight up.
He's loving this segment right now.
Straight up hooper. I mean, everybody thought Jabari Parker was the next coming. He was incredible at Duke. And then injuries took it away from him. But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about Duke players.
Please do so. This is for Rudy. This is for Rudy's.
Hey man, this is supposed to be under 30 minutes. I'll give credit. The thing is, I've always had a love and hate relationship for Duke, but being the part that we all talk sports media and stuff, you've always got to give credit where credit's due. And I always have to talk nice about it because one of our hosts is a Duke fan, and we go back and forth. But one guy that I thought would definitely pan out was Jahlil Okafor. I had kind of hopes for him, but I think it was more of the position or the place that he was drafted in and the opportunities that he had. But golly, he reminded me a lot of one of my Tar Heel guys, Brad Doherty, back in the day. Just real smooth underneath the basket, could get to the rim. Stuff like that. So I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due, like I always do. But it's still Tar Heels over Duke.
You weren't a Johnny Dawkins fan?
No, I mean when he was a Spur, I forgot about the whole Duke thing. But yeah. I mean, I was a fan of Johnny Dawkins as a Spur, though.
Yeah. Wow, you really don't like Duke, do you?
I'll tell you one player I hate, and I don't use hate very much. And I've never really liked Christian Laettner, but I don't know anybody that really has. But Abdenabi, was it Abdenabi? I think I'm saying his name right.
The Blazer guy, the Blazers.
It was him, and I hated Thomas Hill from back in the day. I don't know why. He just didn't fit the Blue Devils back then. And I always heard, when you hear the announcers, you heard Dick Vitale and all the other guys like Thomas Hill. I'm like, this guy sucks, man. I hate Thomas Hill. I would prefer Grant Hill and those guys when he was playing with them, but Thomas Hill was one guy that I just could not. Couldn't do it.
Look at that. Rudy just really doesn't like Dookies. Doesn't like them.
Hey, man.
Doesn't like.
You know for a fact, the guy that I'm a big Tar Heel fan over, I mean, it's not Jordan isn't my number one. I mean, everybody freaks out. Joseph Forte was overall one of my favorite Tar Heels, but I mean, nonetheless, man, we got to have a Duke and Carolina show one day. That would be
that'd be a great
that'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. Look at Jack getting all pumped up ready.
And let's do it. College basketball is my thing, man.
Yeah,
I can ramble off everything.
All right, well, we better separate these guys before they start fighting here on Locked On Spurs. He is Jack Thompson. Follow him on X at Jack_Thompson33. Make sure you do that right now. And above me, or right next to me, I should say, it is Mr. Rudy Campos. Follow him on X at Sweep the League. We'll be back later this week. All things silver and black. We're on off-season mode. So, yeah, not every single day, but 2 to 3 until training camp gets here. And as always, we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen every single day. Follow us on social media, such as, you got the YouTube page, Gens 5 Plus, iTunes, Spotify. Seriously, pick a platform. We are there. And Locked On Sports Today, 24/7 streaming channel only on YouTube, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network. So for Rudy Campos and Jack Thompson, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock in this episode of Locked On Spurs.